Good evening. How y'all doing? Welcome to Frillstyle Friday. I'm Kim. Haven't seen y'all in a while. If you're new here, my name is Kim. I make a lot of videos and streams about Japanese street fashion. If you are not new, I see some of y'all in the comments saying hello. What's going on? Hey, hey. Miss Matcha also saying hello. Welcome to the stream. Hey, Sarah. Everybody's just getting their hellos out of the way. So today we are doing a Q&A with Mindy. And for those of you who don't know Mindy, she is a member of the J Fashion community. She is also a member of Bay Area Kei, and she helps produce a lot of J Fashion events. So I have some good questions for her to learn more about J Fashion event planning and, of course, learning more about herself. So let's go ahead and get started and welcome Mindy. Hi, Mindy.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Happy it's Friday.
Yeah.
Everyone says that though.
Right? Yeah. And then Monday rolls around and then you're like, I'm ready for Friday again.
Always. Just constant weekend. Need to retire already.
Right? Yeah. Can we just speed right to that 65 or whatever that retirement age is?
Hey, early retirement is where it's at. You got to prep for that though.
Right? I'm working on it. I gotta stop buying stuff though and save it.
Gotta stop buying J Fashion.
Yeah.
In order to retire early.
Right. And then I
could keep working to make that brand.
Right? And then I can buy more brand when I retire.
Yeah.
Bedlam Roses said, good evening, friends. Excited for this stream. Excited for you to be here. I'm just going to move this comment down because it was out of the way. Consuela Lemon, are you new?
I like your name.
Yeah.
I like lemons.
Right? So good for your health. Love it.
I was thinking lemon curd. I guess that's not particularly good for your health.
Lemon curd's also pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. Who else might be new around these parts? If you are new, please let us know in the comments. We're very friendly around here. We all talk to each other. We all support each other. We all help each other out. So don't be shy. This is just what we do over here. Let's see. We got some other familiar faces. What? Okay. Cod fillets. Sounds great. I wasn't hungry until you said something.
I've never actually had cod, I don't think.
No?
I love salmon and I love fish, but I don't think I've ever had cod in particular. Salmon and tuna are great though.
Yeah, I've mostly had cod as like, what are those things called that you always get when you go to the coast? Fish and chips. Those things.
Oh, maybe that has been cod. Maybe I've only had it fried and not known.
Yeah.
Is that always cod?
I think so. It's typically cod, because it's a cheaper fish, I think. Some people use like halibut, which is like, that's like a fancy fish and chips, but yeah. Yeah. Consuela Lemon says, I'm new to your lives, but love your videos. Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah.
So glad you're here. You're in for a treat today. All right. Other people are also eating. Great. What's for dinner?
I mean, it is dinner time.
Yeah.
I'm having dumplings later, which I'm excited about.
Oh, I want some dumplings. That sounds so good. Are you making them or are you ordering them?
No, we're ordering them.
Okay.
We do have the little press thing to make dumplings, but I've never actually made them.
That sounds like work.
I should probably learn sometime. It is, but it's fun if you like cooking.
I dig it. I dig it. Holly says, happy Friday, EGL Coordination Station. Alice says hello. Lots of hello. What's going on, Visual K Eyebrows? So happy to see all y'all. Yes, new friends. New friends.
Wait.
Holly was confirming cod is the classic in fish and chips. Yep. So
I probably had it without knowing.
Oh. Consuela Lemon is from the Midwest, so Friday fish fry is a thing here. It's kind of a thing in like Louisiana too. I just know like when I used to live in Louisiana on Fridays, there'd be a lot of like fried fish and macaroni and cheese plates, which is pretty good. But yeah, all right.
Now you're making me hungry.
I know. Okay, all right.
Just focus on the people saying they love our cords.
Yes. So I'm rocking Angelic Pretty. Mindy, tell us about your cord.
Uh, sure. I am being a blouseless heathen today. For like the first time ever, I'm not wearing a blouse, but I do have these cute little capped lacy bits, so I can get away with that, right? That's
Yeah,
fine.
it's whatever.
But yeah,
You look cute.
I am wearing Rose Museum, but also by Angelic Pretty, because Kim is from Portland, which is the city of roses, and I'm a big fan of roses, so I wanted to wear a rose dress.
Okay, that is
And I
so
also have all
sweet.
of the rose accessories and in my hair, if you can see.
So pretty. Your hair, I love your hair. I can't get over it.
I really like space buns right now. I think they're my new favorite, and it keeps the hair off my neck, which is nice.
I didn't even think about that. Yes, because it's about to be sweating everywhere season. So, like, yes, love it. Very cute.
Yes.
Very cute. Okay, so Mindy, where are you from?
So it's kind of a complicated question. I was originally born in Barbados, which is the island Rihanna is from, which is cool.
Oh,
Yes. Um, so I don't remember learning to swim. I actually just have always been able to swim as far as I know. So that's a neat. But have not been swimming in like 2 years, sadly. But yeah, and then we moved to Texas when I was 5, and I grew up there. And then I went to college in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and then moved to California afterwards. And I think it's my favorite.
you've been in a lot of places. Okay.
Yeah,
California is your
I
favorite,
like
you said.
of the places I've lived. Yeah, I like traveling a lot. And I've been to a lot of different places. I used to go on one trip a year before the pandemic, but hopefully we can go again next year. Um,
Do
but
you
yes, California is my favorite just because weather and general acceptance of things. Yeah.
do you have like a favorite place that you've visited aside from California?
I mean, probably Japan.
The motherland,
Every
yes.
Yes, right. Yes, I went there twice actually in 2019 and 2018. Um, just by coincidence. One was a Lita trip with my Lolita friend, and the other one was with my significant other. Um, but we went to historic places, and then but also like the pop culture aspect. Sorry, question.
In
I'm talking.
2019, did you go to Japan in the fall?
No, I went in the spring both times around the cherry blossoms.
Okay. Because I feel like there was like there were different groups of people in the J fashion community that all went around the same time, and then we didn't realize
Yeah,
it until after the fact. So it was really interesting.
right. So I went spring of 2018, and then I noticed for like the next year and a half, just everybody was going to Japan. And I think it was a combination of they were prepping for the Olympics, so there was a big push for tourism, and I think the flights were also cheap because of that
Yeah.
too, maybe.
Yo, flights were like
Uh,
$520, and it was like, what? I can't even fly to the East Coast for $520.
right? Yeah. And I think that combination, plus like everybody talking about Japan, then made other people want to go, so it was like a snowball effect. So yeah.
Cool, cool. Zerio confirms it's too hot for chiffon blouses. Uh,
Yep.
and to
It's
be on
time to be on.
fire.
Pretty much. Yeah, I'm in the Bay Area, so it's not as hot as it is in SoCal, but it was weirdly hot the last 2 days, and today it's still hot. So it's supposed to cool down this weekend, though.
Nice. Coco
I
the
don't know if I could.
Witch asks, I just got here. What did I miss? We're just doing introductions. This is Mindy. Mindy's
Hi.
gonna, we're gonna learn more about Mindy and J fashion events. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So, what would you say your like style is when it comes to Lolita or J fashion?
Um, it's pretty eclectic, honestly. I don't know a better word for that. I when I started, I was like really into gothic at first because and I remember I started that was I literally walked into the Harajuku Heart store in San Francisco, and I knew about the fashion from anime conventions, but I couldn't afford it before, and I'm like, oh, I can afford these pieces now. And the AP side of the store was overwhelming, and I was like, I'm never going over there. It's too pink. I don't want to deal with that. And then fast forward to 5 years later, like half of my wardrobe is AP. Um, no, I think it's like a third, but still. but I still have that mix of like I do gothic and classic sweet, and then I also have super sweet chords. So I'm kind of all over the place, but I still like to be cohesive in chunks, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think that's good. Like you have like a diverse wardrobe, so you're always ready for whatever occasion you need a chord for. So,
Yes.
yeah, Holly, our flights were very cheap. They were cheap. And then come up to Oregon where you have every season, literally every day in spring. It's true. It was like, it was really nice yesterday. It was kind of nice today. I think it's going to be cooler again this weekend. I can't remember, but yeah. Yeah, totally.
You get snow and sun in the same day.
Who does? We do? Have we had that happen before?
Do
I
you?
don't know.
That happened in Texas.
I don't think we have,
Okay. So not that bad.
but it's possible. Someone who's lived here longer can maybe confirm that. So are you into any other J fashion styles or any other like J fashion or Japanese related like hobbies or styles or anything like that?
Yeah. I used to be. I used to really want to try like Decora, and I also really like the style of Mori Kei. And I started to do like Yume Kawaii as well here and there, but I just didn't. They didn't bring me as much joy as Lolita did. I think because there's a level of fanciness that you get when you put on a Lolita cord that even when you're doing something that's more casual, you're still fancier than like a Mori cord typically. Um, so I think I've tried others, but I think I'm sticking with Lolita for now. And I do read a lot of manga. I have a manga collection, and I watch a decent amount of anime. Um, but other than that, I don't know. I can't think of any others. J
Oh,
fashion adjacent.
yeah. Anime. I try anime. I think I just probably haven't found the anime that really like grabs me, you know? I think that's
Hmm.
probably what it is.
There's so many different animes is the thing. So yeah, like there's a lot of different ones to try, and some of them are just like really good examples. Like I never really got sports anime until I watched, I think it was Free, which was like a swimming anime.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I really liked that one for some reason. But yeah, I get it. There's a lot to pick from, but maybe you haven't found the one style you like yet.
I'll have to work on that more. So when it
What
comes
have you?
to what?
I was gonna ask what you've tried.
Oh, I've tried Skip Beat, which I kind of liked,
Okay.
and I tried the only other one I can think of. Uh, I did a cosplay from Ranma, which I never watched, and I think it's like old as dirt, and I probably won't be able to get into it. Um,
Yeah, it's a little harder to watch now.
and there was another one, but I honestly can't remember the name. But that's pretty much the ones that I've tried. I mean, I've sat in on
So
like
like
an
way older ones.
yeah, yeah. I go to a lot of well, I used to go to a lot of anime conventions, so I felt like just taking in the sights and sounds of the people there. I get good enough exposure to anime just looking at their cosplays. So yeah.
That's one way to get into it, yeah.
So, when it comes to like Lolita fashion, what would you say? Where do you get inspiration from when you're like putting together your coordinates?
Yeah, I really like themes.
Oh,
So when a meetup has themes, I'm really into it, and I try to like match it as closely as possible, sometimes to my detriment. Um, Sometimes I'm like, I have nothing, but I'm going to find something and figure it out. Because I really like themes. But what I realize is that I have specific themes in my wardrobe that I really, really like. One of them is like roses. And so I got a bunch of different rose things, and then I can put together different chords more easily because I have a bunch in that same theme. And the other one is galaxy, which is why we have our fancy background. Um,
yeah.
I have I have a lot of galaxy and particularly pastel galaxy prints. Because I don't know. I've always liked galaxy stuff, printed stuff, even from before I was into Lolita. I have like a bunch of galaxy printed athletic wear.
Oh, neat. Okay.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, probably too much galaxy stuff, but that's another one of my favorite themes.
I
So
don't
yeah,
know.
I like themes.
Space and galaxies, I just, the whole concept of just, I don't know, space is just, I, I mean, I know it's like, it's fascinating to me and I'm sure it's fascinating to everybody, but sometimes I'll sit and I think about it and I'm like, yo, the universe, it's so big, you know? Like,
There's too much.
we just don't know much,
Yeah.
you know? So, yeah. Anyway, let's talk about event planning stuff. So you
Okay.
are a member of Bay Area Kei. What do you do with Bay Area Kei?
So I'm the fashion show director, technically.
Ooh.
I only became that last year when we started doing virtual events. Before that, I just really like fashion shows. I've modeled in several of them when we used to do in-person events. So I'm a big fan. And so when we were trying to figure out the best format for that, I was like, I want to put something together because I feel fashion shows were always one of my favorite parts of in-person events. So I wanted to figure out how to bring that virtual. So that's like one of my big contributions to it. And then outside of that, I'd like mod and do other things as well. But yeah.
Cool. And how long have you been with Bay Area Kei? Sorry, I spaced on my question for a second.
It's okay. So yeah, like I said, I only really joined it as like we only really formed as a group last year. Before that, it was mostly Haley, our like chairperson, ran all of the fanime related events, and then she would also run a pop-up shop in the Bay Area, obviously because they're Bay Area Kei. So yeah, she used to run a lot of the events, and then like I've was like planning to help out with in-person fanime because it was supposed to be bigger for J Fashion in 2020.
Yeah.
Like they had given us an like actual budget and an actual room and stuff, and we were all very excited about it. And so when it wasn't going to happen, we kind of pivoted as much as we could. But that was going to be my first time being part of this as a group, and then we've like added others as we need them.
Oh, that's cool. And this is Haley from Black Ribbon, Haley?
Yes.
Okay. See,
yeah.
I remember stuff. And aside from like Bay Area Kei and like starting to work with fanime, have you helped with any other events?
Yes. So I wouldn't know if I don't know if helped is the right word. I have been running events for the Bay Area EGL community for about 4 years. I think like I kind of jumped straight into it after joining. I think I was in it less than a year, and I was like, I want to run an event. Yeah, I had a theme and I had an idea for a meetup, and I really like planning events, and so I just kind of got into it. And before shelter in place, I was probably planning a meetup once every other month at least, and I frequently ran the monthly meets, which are every month. Those we started rotating who would like run them because at first only one person was running them and it was too much. So we started rotating whoever like signed up for it. We have a sign up sheet, but I was probably at least a third or a fourth of the times was me running it just because people wouldn't sign up, and then I was like, I want there to be a monthly meet. I guess I'm gonna have to do it.
Yeah.
I have to host. So yeah.
So what was that first meetup that you had an idea and a theme for?
It was a Beauty and the Beast themed meetup because I like Beauty and the Beast a lot. It's my favorite fairy tale. And it was around the time that the new movie came out, the live action movie, which I was very excited to see. And there's a movie theater in San Francisco that I had been to, and I knew they had huge like recliner seats that you could pick which seat you wanted ahead of time. So I was like, we can fit our petticoats. We can do it.
Yeah.
But obviously I didn't want the whole meet to be just going to the movies. So we also picked I think it was a dumpling type place actually.
Yeah.
That was in the same complex as the movie theater. So we didn't have to go outside or anything to go between them. And I made a reservation there, and I told people that they could either come to one or both of them, which gave people a little bit more flexibility if they didn't want to pay for the meal or something. So we did a meal, and then we had like a little half-hour hangout time where we took pictures and stuff, and then we went to watch the movie. And then afterwards, I did a I did a somewhat chord contest where I just like picked somebody, I liked their chord, and I gave them a Beauty and the Beast themed prize.
Cute.
But yeah, that was fun.
That sounds really rad. I love it. Okay. So when it comes to like planning those meetups, what are some of the things that like you think of, or like things that help with planning those events?
Sure. So in-person events in particular, or just events in general?
Let's just do events in general.
Okay, yeah. So I think a big thing is having a theme. For me, I like themes. You can have more casual meets, and I think it is good to do that once in a while, where people don't feel as pressured to like get super dressed up or anything. Which is why I really love doing the monthly meets locally. And also that's why in our virtual events we have time where like you don't have to be dressed up when you're watching the panels, obviously. But we want to give people the option of both, basically. So having a mix of that style. I really like having a theme, but you don't have to, is what I was trying to say. Yeah. So pick whether you want a theme or not. And then for in-person events, the biggest thing to think about is the venue. And then for virtual events, it's like thinking about how you're going to like structure the event page and like how you're going to present all this content. I think a theme is more important actually for virtual events now that I think about it, because it makes like the whole event more cohesive. It makes it easier to think of panels. For in-person events, it makes it easier to think of like potential activities and stuff like that. So you're not just like going out to eat every time, which is like a more casual style meetup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's when you talk about like the website and like how you present all that information is something that like I would have never thought of at all.
Yeah. I'm really impressed with our like web team that like I've even though I'm a software engineer, I still don't fuss with UI and websites. I've like never done that. I'm much more like back-end server type engineer. So I'm really impressed with how they put everything together, and they like spend a lot of time making sure everything fits and like the copy and the wording is all right, it's all correct, and the links work and everything. So it's all a lot of work.
Hats off to those people. I feel you on the UI. I'm like, but I always like complain if I go to a website and I'm like, your thing doesn't scroll properly on a phone. But that is definitely something that Bay Area Kei does very well, I must say. Zero thinks that a Beauty and the Beast meetup sounds amazing. I bet it was fun. Did people have a lot of like bell cords, or was it just a lot of like Beauty and the Beast prints, or?
It wasn't super Beauty and the Beast. I don't think anyone had a bell themed cord, but the winning cord was a Beast themed Oshi cord, which was so good. She had like a blue velvet coat. I think she had made it herself, or she had gotten it from somewhere. I'm trying to remember details of it, but I don't remember super well. But I remember being really impressed that they brought that out, and it looked so cool. Other than that, like I had my Blue Roses fairy tale themed dress. I was pretty basic, honestly. And then somebody else I know did a teapot themed, like a Mrs. Potts themed dress, which is really cute.
Oh my gosh, that sounds adorable.
Yes.
What? And then Coco the Witch says, "Rip Fanime." I never got a chance to go. I always heard Fanime was really fun. Really, a lot of people, but fun.
Yeah, I've always had fun at Fanime. I've always been really impressed with the artist market. I was really excited to finally have like a real legit fashion show and stuff, because our fashion show was always in this really dark room where it was impossible to take good pictures of the outfits, which was sad for a fashion show. So we were excited to like finally get a stage with actual lighting and everything. So yeah, hopefully in 2022 we'll still be doing that, and that's the plan. Fanime is doing virtual events this year. They couldn't quite get it together last year, but we are partnering with them this year. So we'll have a few stuff that's through. They have like a paid platform. I think it's like $10 for a virtual ticket. Yeah.
Cool. That sounds awesome. Coco the Witch says, I just got into Lolita last year, so I haven't been to a meetup for the first time yet, and I'm scared to go to one. The first one, at least the first few, especially if you don't know anyone yet in the community, can probably feel a little bit intimidating, but I think it definitely gets easier over time. And yeah, is there anything like you would suggest to a new person going to a meetup for the first time?
Be willing to talk to strangers. That was like my bit. Honestly, I don't know if I was weird or not, but I was just excited to go to a meetup for the first time. And I didn't know anybody. I just went to a monthly meetup, and I went to one of our monthly meetups. I didn't know anybody, and I just said hi. Like you see people that are dressed like you, so you know they're part of the event. And honestly, everyone was just super friendly. They were like really excited. Everyone was complimenting their cords and like their accessories, and that was super nice to see. I remember giving out a lot of compliments because giving compliments is a great way to make friends. That's a little bit of advice, I suppose.
100.
Yeah, so just be willing to talk to strangers, and be open to trying that. I wouldn't be scared, honestly. Like Lolitas are super welcoming. I honestly feel like it's a little bit easier to go to for me at least, it was easier to go to a meetup by myself where I didn't know anybody, because in that particular kind of situation where you don't know anybody, I find it easier. And honestly, there were several other new Lolitas at the time who didn't know anybody either, because monthly meetups are a great space for newbies. So you probably won't be alone depending on how big your comm is. Sometimes it's hard if like everyone else knows each other already and they're making cliques and stuff. That does happen sometimes, but I found that at least my comm was really welcoming. So hopefully yours will be too.
That was great information. But yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, Shayna. What is going on? Holly says, take the leap when you can. Have you connected with your local comm? Yeah, that's another one. And I don't remember. I found my local community through convention. But given that we've all been remote for a year, finding a local comm might be a little bit challenging. I know there's a spreadsheet somewhere or some sort of doc. I don't remember where I found it, but there's like a document that lists the different communities into different areas and states. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, moderators.
I honestly just searched on Facebook at the time. So
yeah, yep.
I just found it. I think probably the Big Sisters of Lolita Facebook group has that list.
Oh, they do? Okay.
I that's probably where I found my local community, would be my guess. Yeah, I just remember searching Facebook groups or like ending up on Facebook groups, and I joined like a bunch of them to begin with.
Nice.
And it's also really great because I've actually traveled to a few comms, like the Portland comm and the Chicago comm, and you just like message, you join like, I'm gonna be visiting, can I like join a meetup? And we've had that happen at the SF community as well. I really like meeting Lolitas who travel to San Francisco. I met someone from, I want to say, Switzerland.
Cool.
And someone from Ireland. Ooh, the Ireland one was so good at makeup. I remember that. Ireland Lolita. But yeah, Irish Lolita, I should say. I hope it's Irish and not Scottish. I hope I just haven't offended her.
Yeah.
Oh no. But my point is that I find that Lolita communities it's really nice to be able to visit them too. It's like having a little community to visit anywhere you go, basically, on any major city, anyways.
Yeah, totally. Alicio, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Alicio is another member of the live streaming community. Does some really good interviews with big time people, and I just learn a lot from him. Zirio says, same here. I got my first cord the day my area went into lockdown. Y'all are gonna be ready. Y'all are gonna be like busting out of the doors, ready to meet people.
Not even newbies, just like their cords are gonna be on point already.
Right? Coco the
present.
Witch says, I'm too traumatized by the early 2000s rumors about people being mean that I never got over the fear from what I read back then. I'm not going to lie. I have not ever really had an experience with someone being mean in the going on 6 years I've been in Lolita. Not a
Yeah,
single one.
same. Honestly, exactly same. I think a big part of it is people are not as mean in person. I think a
Yo.
lot of the rumors that I think a lot of the meanness happens in the online communities, honestly, much more so than in person. Nobody,
Yeah.
at least nobody's gonna like, at least not I have not experienced this. Maybe I'm oblivious, but no one that I've seen has like talked bad about someone's cord in front of them or like made snide remarks. At least not to me. I've never heard it,
I haven't either.
and I've
People
never
get
seen it. I think in my particular if we saw that behavior, we'd be like, "You're awful. Goodbye. You're
yeah.
not invited to our meets anymore."
Yeah.
Or they would go off and like join their own little elite club and then not come to comm meets up anymore. I feel like that's more likely. Um, yeah. So I wouldn't worry about that, honestly, with
I
in-person meets at least.
I wouldn't either. I think people get really big and bad behind a keyboard and like a fake picture or a fake like screen name or like whatever. And then when it comes to like being face to face, it's like, I'm actually not this person that, I portray on the internet. So I've never had bad experience with anyone. And even when I, maybe caught a vibe that someone was like not really, I wasn't gelling with them or I wasn't vibing with them. It's like, cool. I'm just not going to talk to you. I'm just not going to be around you. And yeah.
Yep. You just don't be around those people. If anybody's ever rude to you, there's plenty of other Lolitas usually.
Yep. Yep. Zirio says I tried to apply to all my local comms last year, but never heard back from any of them. Oh no.
What comms those are?
Yeah. I know some communities are just really haven't been that active because like.
Maybe they're not checking.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. Because actually, I've heard of a lot of Lolitas joining like right at the beginning of the pandemic. So if you're a mod in the community, make sure you're keeping an eye on your applications.
Yes, gotta make sure. Coco says I'm probably not comfortable going into any meetups until I feel comfortable going. At least convention dresses up and waiting. Well, if you ever come to Portland, let me know and we can go hang out. And
Yeah,
you got some friends up here.
that is also an option as well. If you don't feel like joining a comm, but if you like know a Lolita online that seems friendly and you're visiting them, or like they happen to be a local Lolita, you can reach out and ask if they want to hang out like one-on-one as well. I think that'd be fun. I'm usually pretty open to that if it's like clear that you're really into the fashion and you just want to have a more casual meet. I've done that a couple of times with people visiting, and it's really fun.
It's also like less pressure that way too, because I don't know, sometimes in larger groups there can be a little bit of like shyness and awkwardness and pressure. But if it's like solo, you get more like FaceTime and you can have, more conversations and
Have
feel
a real
bit more
conversation.
Yeah. Those things that people could do that we don't always do all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get back to some of these chats in a second. What is something that What?
Sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
No, it's fine.
I was going to say somebody posted the spreadsheet, I think, to the list of communities.
Oh, perfect. All right.
I think this.
One of our wonderful moderators has posted a link to the spreadsheet. Thank you, Holly. I don't know how to pin this. How does this work? Can I do that from here? Can I do that?
I cannot.
I cannot. Aha. Dun-dun. I just pinned it to the chat. Okay, so question for you. What is something that you love, or what are some of the things that you love about J-Fashion event planning? Aside from themes.
Aside from themes. We've harped on that enough. What do I love? I mean, I love just hanging out with people. In small events, it's a little bit easier. I feel like a good size event is like 5 to 8 people, maybe 10. Then you like get a little bit of FaceTime with everybody, and you can still have like a good conversation as a group. you can usually all sit at the same table as when it's easiest. But I really just like hanging out with people, which is weird because I don't think of myself as an extrovert. But I like having good conversations with people, and I think if the event is running smoothly, it still gives people opportunities to chat and to like connect with people and make like a human connection, even if it's something that's maybe like it's like the surface level thing that's bringing us together. I think that you can still find things you have in common with people, outside of Lolita fashion in particular. I don't know. I just really like to chat with people.
Yeah.
So that's what I like.
I dig it. I like to talk to people. That's why I do streams. Because I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't talk to people any other way except for on the internet. So, or like yell over my fence.
Right now, yeah. Yeah.
Like Tim, the Toolman Taylor. Is that what his name was in Home Improvement? I think his
Well,
name.
Tim was the actual main character. I forget who the neighbor's name was. The one where we only saw his eyes.
Yeah. I remember when they did like the special where they like came out for some special and they like came on stage and like did like a hey everybody kind of thing. He came out with like a fake fence on a popsicle stand to like cover his mouth because he was like keeping that persona up. So like when I was younger, I was like,
ever saw this.
yeah, is there something wrong with his mouth? Or is it just like it's just like a Mana
don't know.
situation where it's just like I have to keep up this persona forever.
I don't know. I almost wonder if it was like the actor wanted to keep his privacy. I don't know what the deal was with that, honestly. I'm sure we could Google this maybe, but
This is true. I'm going to remember this.
you're
I'm
gonna Google it.
do it
You're gonna
after
make a
this
reminder.
stream, yeah. Yeah.
Google Tim the Toolman Taylor's. What was the name? Home Improvement, right?
Yeah.
That was the name of the show.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I saw a picture
His
of
neighbor.
Tim Allen and that man is I didn't realize how old that show was. I mean,
Yeah.
My childhood.
And I don't think he was young when they were filming that either.
Right? Yeah. Sorry, Zirio, you ordered your ice cream shop Belladonna release.
Oh yeah, ice cream cones.
What?
I have a couple of those. They're so cute.
Gonna show up as Rainbow Horror Terror.
Nice.
I will
I
run.
approve. I don't wear a lot of rainbow stuff myself, but I like to see it. I don't know. It's something about like the vibrancy of it. That's why I appreciate Decora, even though I usually stick to pastels. So that's like the brightest I can get. Because if I try to wear super bright colors, even like fancy candy is a little. It was a little much for me at first. I was like, I really love candy and sweets, and so I need this, but like it's so bright. It's so brightly colored. But I appreciate people who can pull it off and who do it. So
Yeah.
I give you my blessing, even though you don't need it.
Totally. See, look at people making friends in the comments. I love it so much.
Same.
This is why I like to do these streams. You know what I mean?
It's great.
You know what I mean? Okay, scrolling through some comments. They're chatting. People are chatting. Holly,
Yes.
Holly, why are we talking about tripods? Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. I think they were talking about taking pictures, I guess. I'm not sure.
I have a video I need to film all around this that I have been postponing.
Yay.
Holly, you should just steal my video idea and do it. I got too much going on. Okay. Pink Kawaii Rose says, I just started wearing Lolita end of last year and joined my local comm online on Facebook and have been enjoying everything. Can't wait to go to a meetup in person eventually and wear Lolita outside. Yes.
Yay.
exciting.
Same. I can't wait to do that again.
I think I wore like casual Lolita to the store once during the pandemic, and
Yeah.
I went to the grocery store, and then I can't remember why I went to Michael's for something, and the people in Michael's were like, "Oh my god, you're so cute! Most of the people we see are like," blah, 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 blah. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I feel like people have been like even more withdrawn during the pandemic. So even when they go out, they're like still wearing pajamas with like a mask.
That's me.
So like the one time same. The one time I had a full cord on and I just happened to be going to the store because I needed, it was to pick up Peeps because I wanted to do
Peeps?
the Peeps challenge.
Oh, why would you do that to yourself? Peeps?
I don't like Peeps. Let me just state that. Maybe I shouldn't state that. Maybe I won't win. Um, I but I love marshmallows in general, and Peeps and Pepsi were putting out a marshmallow flavored soda,
My God.
and I needed to try it.
Oh,
Like
no.
I don't care if it's terrible. I just need to know what it tastes like. And the only way you could get this marshmallow flavored soda was by entering their Instagram competition. But you had to have Peeps in your picture in order to enter the like that was in the fine print. You have to be holding like actual Peeps brand stuff. So I went to the store to get Peeps, and I was wearing the outfit that I was going to take a picture in, and people stared so much.
Oh, no.
Nobody said anything at all. I think, well, no, I think like a couple people said nice dress, which was nice. I usually don't really get bad comments too much in San Francisco. But yeah, a lot of people were just staring, like just aggressive staring.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm probably the most like they're in a grocery store. I'm probably the most interesting thing there is to look at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. But it was a little intimidating, even for me.
All right. Zerio says they've got a ring light and a tripod on their Patreon. I should join your Patreon and help you out because I want you to upgrade your lighting there. Holly's saying talking to local people is really good for getting comfortable and maybe finding a buddy for your first meet. Yes, it is. My first Lolita buddy, I don't know if she's still in the chat, Janelle. That was the first buddy I made in Lolita. And she introduced me to the local community that I have now. And that's really great. I found her on Facebook. So yeah, local internets bringing people together. Okay, what other questions do I have for you? I want to know. When it comes to virtual event planning, what are some key things that you would recommend people think about when they're trying to plan a virtual event?
I'm gonna reiterate themes again. Like I said, I think it's more important for virtual events to have a theme than for in person. Mm-hmm. The big thing about virtual events, the big advantage actually to virtual events, advantage and disadvantage is making the event longer. I mean, you guess you can make it short term, and that's fine too. For us, we've been trying to make it so that people have things to do because we're so limited. I'm like backtracking a little bit, but
it's okay.
Because we're so limited in how many events we usually have, we try to make the events like draw out. And the big disadvantage is you have to plan it in advance. Like for example, the main example I can think of is a fashion show. People have to they have to know the theme so that they can then plan their coord, and they have to have like a big chunk of window to submit their coord, and they have to do that beforehand. So you have to plan out all of this before the actual event itself. This is not as much of an issue if you're only doing like a virtual event for your local community. It doesn't matter that much. But for us, the big thing is like we have to have a lot of plans like 2 months, 3 months before the event. We have to know what's coming. We have to know the dates to release things, the dates to announce things so that people know it's coming with enough warning time to really plan for it. Things like the tea parties and stuff like that. They just have to know way in advance. So like planning things out way in advance is really important for virtual events, I would say. That said, if you're just doing a casual meet with your local comm for the weekend, you don't really have to plan that much. If you're literally just having like a casual chat. The only thing I'd say with that is if you're just doing a casual chat, that's totally fine. Throw on a blouse or don't even wear a Lolita, just chat with your fellow comm members. That's fine. If you want to do like an actual event, you do still need to plan, probably should plan like some sort of activities in advance so that you're not like trying to throw things together last minute. Just like have that ready like a week or two at least before the event itself. So yeah, planning is the big thing. Planning in advance, I should say.
Yeah, no,
it's
more tips.
Important for virtual events.
Great tips. Zerio is glad that we shared their opinion of Peeps, which is...
Wait, what's the opinion of Peeps?
My opinion is they belong in the trash.
I like fancy marshmallows, honestly. The fancier, the better. I've had like hand molded marshmallows, and those are really tasty. Like handmade marshmallows where it's not coming from a factory. They're so
Yeah.
fancy, and they like have powder on them. Those are my favorite.
Sarah, Sarah, are you still in the chat? We have a friend in our community that has made homemade marshmallows. Like,
I want to
she's
do
made
that.
like peppermint ones. She's made all kinds
Love
of really
flavored
good
marshmallows.
flavored ones, like around the holidays.
Hmm.
Yeah, really good.
I want to
Um,
learn to make marshmallows. I know it's not hard. Like I
mhm,
know I've seen the recipe and it's not hard. I just haven't actually done it because of motivation.
yeah. Coco the Witch. What? Let me look. You were about to get banned from this chat.
What? What's wrong with it? We just want to know what it tastes like, okay?
Okay,
What's wrong with
okay,
that?
okay.
It might be terrible. What I'm actually more concerned about is what if I like it and then I can never get it again? That's what I'm more concerned. If it's terrible, fine. I tried it. I know what it tastes like. I'm good. But what if I like it? What if I really like it and then I can never get it again?
Yeah. Like or it comes out like once a year.
Oh, yeah. And it's only by contest every time. Oh, that'd be awful. I've had
Um,
sodas that I've fallen in love with before that I could no longer get because they were discontinued.
like
I
Sprite
hope that doesn't
Remix.
happen. Um, the one I'm thinking of now is actually from Barbados, and it might still exist, but the last time I went to Barbados, I couldn't find it anywhere, so I don't think it exists anymore. It was called Pine Juicy, and it was pineapple soda.
Oh,
I've had other pineapple sodas, but none of them is quite the same. And I don't know if it's just that like Pine Juicy was magic because it was from Barbados. I used to have my families when they would visit, they would bring back like a 2 liter for me
I
of
wonder
Pine
if it's
Juicy.
like they don't have all the crap in it. Like here in the US, we put a lot of crap in our like food and drink, and I wonder if it was like just
It's
goodness.
it's more pure sugar, honestly. It's just there's more sugar in it, like pure sugar.
The real stuff. This is the
Yes.
Sarah I was talking about that makes homemade marshmallows. So next stream, Sarah said she's going to make marshmallows for everyone in the stream and mail them to their house. So Sarah, thanks. I'm just kidding.
I want homemade marshmallows.
Oh yeah, Crystal Pepsi was a thing. I don't remember what that tastes like though. I really don't remember.
I don't think I ever tried that one. You know what I hate? Speaking
Huh.
of sodas,
Yeah.
uh, they changed the like packaging on vanilla Coke. And I love vanilla Coke, but
Hmm.
every time I look at it, I think it's like coffee flavored because they changed it from like the yellow white color to like brown, and now I keep thinking it's coffee flavored. And you're looking up vanilla
I
Coke.
am, 'cause I'm like, what? Is it
I don't
this
know.
one?
I think it's what it is now. Yeah, and that
Um,
doesn't that's in my mind that's like coffee, which is like coffee
yeah.
Coke just sounds awful. So I keep thinking it's something else. And I keep thinking the few times that I've gone to look for it recently at like Walgreens, because that's the only place I can get vanilla Coke these days. I think it's sold out because it's in a different packaging than it used.
There's an orange vanilla Coke?
Yeah. There's a lot of flavors you can make now, and you can get them online and in stores.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
Interesting.
But you will never be as variety packed as Sonic, the fast food place Sonic. You'll never
Oh,
have as many
yeah.
varieties because they can just put anything in anything. You can combine all the flavorings if you want to into one gross, disgusting syrup cup. They will do that for you if you ask. Please don't make them do that though. I
Um,
worked at Sonic for a year,
oh,
so
did
I
you?
know people
Did you
do
have
some weird stuff.
did you have to wear the roller skates when you like brought people their
I
food?
did.
I would have
Yeah.
busted my ass. I can't do it.
I did several times.
No.
The worst was when people would come. We had a happy hour, which was like where drinks were half priced, and people would come and buy our 44-ounce sodas and only buy that. So the trays were really off balance. And my worst spill was when I was like going down the thing and my feet went out from under me and just all of the soda was just all over me
Oh
because that's
no.
all they had ordered.
Oh my gosh. They
Yeah.
didn't even get like the what did I used to get at
Nothing,
Sonic?
just soda.
I used to get like the little hot dog thing they
Chili
have.
cheese tots.
Yeah, that's it. There we go. I haven't been to a Sonic since like college. But
I have like nostalgia memories, and I still like go and get it every time I go back to Texas, because yeah,
um,
because working there.
a lot of people in the comments like vanilla Coke. Okay. Orange vanilla is okay. Okay,
Cherry vanilla.
now we're talking
Somebody
about.
loves orange milk. Yeah, now we're just talking about soda.
I didn't. Angelica.
Coffee, coffee
What?
says. Wait, what? I gotta Google this now.
What?
Coffee Coke? Why would you do that? Mix. I guess it's just caffeine and caffeine. It's a thing. Wow.
Do you
Okay.
want to get
That sounds
wired
awful.
or do you want to get wired? That's what I. Oh, that. What does that
I
taste
don't.
like?
I don't drink coffee. I don't like think I would like it, so I don't think I would like this.
Wait, what? There's a caramel. I don't know, man. I don't. It's a no for me. It's a no for me.
Same.
Yes, Dr. Pepper did have a vanilla flavor, and it. Yeah.
So did Pepsi. You can get vanilla Pepsi, but you can't anymore. The Pepsi and Coke war. Okay, wait. Who in the comments prefers Pepsi over Coke? Is this gonna start the flames? Wait, you prefer Pepsi?
I am 100% a Pepsi fan. It doesn't destroy my teeth the way Coke does, unless it's a Mexican Coke, because there is a big difference between U.S. Coke and Mexican Coke. Mexican Coke is amazing. Plus, you get that really nice bottle.
I also prefer Pepsi.
Okay. And then, so when it comes to, people are, okay. While people are voting Coke versus Pepsi, which we all know the real winner is Pepsi. Do you have any thoughts or predictions around like the future of like J fashion events, or like where events might be heading, or any trends or anything you'd like to see maybe in J fashion events that you haven't seen yet?
Oh, anything I would like to see?
Yeah.
I mean, besides like being in person again, but you mean future virtual events?
Or like future in-person events, like when we can have them again, like, or all of the above. I don't know. It's a pretty open-ended question, but.
I mean, like I said, I really like fashion shows and events, so I want to see more of those. But I want to see more creative fashion shows. So like ones where people can wear their own outfit, as well as ones that showcase brands. I do like the brand showcase fashion shows as well, but I do think there's something about like wearing something that you've created, you've put together, that you're really proud of, and then speak like strutting on stage with that. Like that would be amazing.
Yes, I agree with you.
So like the fashion walk that I do for people, but like in person on stage would be amazing.
By the way,
yeah.
just quick plug. If you guys have never watched the fashion walks from Bay Area Kei, that's like one of my, if not my favorite thing to watch, because they're so good. Like people submit their videos and it's just like legit, like they put in work producing these videos. It's like 4K stunning footage, like amazing walks, amazing music, and I'm just like yelling at my computer the entire time like, you better walk. Like that's me the entire time. So yeah, they're so
I'm
good.
honestly so impressed with some of the submissions we get are just so impressive to me. Like more so some of them are like clothing wise, but also like the way that they edit and put it together. Some of them I edit, but most of the time when you see the fancy editing, they did that, and they sent that to me, and then I get to present it and put it together. But I'm always so impressed with people's like amazing footage and stuff. So good.
100. I am dropping links to the Bay Area Kei Twitch, because there are. Go ahead.
We also have a YouTube channel that has all of our old videos. It's easier to look through than Twitch, I think. So
yes, let me get that in there. It's like I don't think I caught the very first event that Bay Area Kei did.
Well, the very first one was Ursa Major. We didn't do a fashion show that one.
Okay.
And then the next one we did was Sea of Serenity, which was the last September. That was the second one. Yeah, I think that was the first like full event that we did. The first one was last May, our first Ursa Major. We have the second one coming up, but the first Ursa Major was like, oh no, Fanime is not happening. we still want to do something. So we like threw together really last minute some panels, and then we had a tea party, and I think that was it.
Huh. Okay. Pepsi versus Coke debate. Before we do that, Belle said, just join what's going on. We're just hanging out, learning to know Mindy, learning about some event planning.
Maybe they're wondering why everyone's talking about Coke and Pepsi in the chat.
The true answer, though, for real, is what the Ruffled Rose says, which is Dr. Pepper. Yes, give me that carbonated prune juice, please.
It just, I have a soft spot for Dr. Pepper. I used to really like it in high school, but it does taste like coughing syrup, which is not necessarily a bad taste, but it does taste like cough syrup mixed with soda. That's like carbonated cough syrup. But it's sweet, like cough syrup, carbonated soda, and sugar.
No, Coco the Witch.
So much sugar.
You can't pick both. You gotta pick one. Which one? Which one you picking? The answer is Pepsi. All right, Coke. Pepsi's just what? What's wrong with Pepsi? Okay.
Honestly, I do taste the difference. For me, the big reason I like Pepsi more, I know you said Coke, you feel like Coke rots your teeth more. For me, I actually think Pepsi is sweeter, and that's why I like it more. And it's actually made with more sugar, actual sugar, than Coke, from my understanding. That's the big difference to me.
I also
I like blue more than red.
Mm-hmm. I also
There's that.
I think Pepsi used to have like fire commercials, and they didn't used to put cocaine in their drinks. Not that they, Coke does it anymore, but yeah, that was the thing. Not that I ever was alive for that to happen, but yeah, this is the legit answer. Yes, then both. All right, Coke. Alyson coming in with a answer that's not even on the board. Unsweetened tea for me.
I mean, Dr. Pepper's not on the board either, and people are still saying that.
So we got another vote for unsweetened tea. What? All right. Okay.
I can't actually drink unsweetened tea. It tastes like dirty water to me. I used to really not like tea. Okay, so story time. When I first joined Lolita Fashion, I would go to the brand stores in San Francisco, and the store person was like, "Do you want to go to our brand tea party? You've made the necessary purchase in order to buy a tea party ticket." And I was like, "I don't like tea, so I don't think I would like that." No idea. Just no idea. When I first joined, I used to avoid meats that were at tea places. So I went to a dumpling meat. We had a dim sum meat. That was one of my first meats I went to. I really liked that. Honestly? And it wasn't until they had a themed meat that I was like, I really like this theme, so I'm gonna go to this meet, even though it's at a tea place. And then that was what like opened up my world to what tea services are.
Before you weren't sure. Honestly, though, a dumpling meet sounds way better than a tea party, because I feel like we've had enough tea parties. Give me some dumplings.
I like
give
tea
me some
services, though. I do like dumplings. I'm down for both. Yes, that's what I'm having tonight. I'm so excited. I'm making me hungry though.
Okay. Tiana from Canada. Hello. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Interesting question, Tiana. What's your favorite buffet restaurant that you've ever been to?
Buffet restaurant specifically. Go ahead.
I can't think of ones in particular. I will just say the best ones that I've been to have been at casinos, because they have unlimited crab legs, and I love crab legs. And it's a good value. You know what I mean? You can sit there for 4 hours. Eat your steak while you like it cooked, and some crab legs. Yes.
I don't know if this counts as a buffet, but I really like sushi train restaurants.
Yes.
Something about like dropping the plates, especially the ones where you drop into plates and then you get a prize. Wait, I have to be able to do that one. You never been to one of those?
No.
You it's not usually like a great prize. It's usually like those prizes you used to get in those twisty 25-cent machines. But you have to put in enough plates, and every time you put in a plate, some animation shows up on the screen, and then like every 10 plates, a prize comes out. And that's like whoa, we got a prize. I don't know why. I love this. I know it's like a gimmick. I think entirely gimmicky. There's no like real value to get to the random prize you get, but I really like it. And I don't know if that counts as a buffet, but I really like sushi train restaurants in general. Feels like a buffet.
I think
I don't know.
sushi train restaurants should count as, but it is all you. Well, is it all you can eat? Because you're still paying
Not exactly.
for
You still have to
it.
pay per plate, so
Yeah.
maybe not. But I think of it as a buffet is that there's a lot to choose from, and it's all like available already, most of it.
Tiana,
Yeah.
very good point. Coke cleans everything. Oh, interesting. You know, I've heard this before. I've never tried it. I don't really drink like that anymore, but never tried
I've
it.
never been hungover, so I don't know. I've never needed to.
Tiana, we don't. I haven't heard someone
We
mention
don't do that
Mountain
here.
Dew. We don't. Yeah, we don't. We used to do that.
No judgment, but we don't do that.
Although every once in a while, I do like to have a Mountain Dew. Like if I go to Taco Bell, I'm getting a Mountain Dew.
Is it the Taco Bell has the Baja Blast Mountain Dew? Is that what that is?
I think. I don't actually know.
I've never had it. I have
They have-
never been to Taco Bell. Now that I think about it. I know, how un-American of me, right?
What?
Pretty sure I've never been. That might be a lie, but as far as I can remember, I have never been to Taco Bell. But I've heard about the Baja Blast, and I kind of want to try it, whatever it is. So this is bye. They're leaving because I don't.
Stream's ending. We're cutting the stream, cutting it off.
Sorry, I just don't like that style of. Can you call it Mexican food? I don't know.
No, I understand.
I'm
Like
sorry.
it's acceptable if you're drunk. It's acceptable if you're in college. It's also acceptable
And
any time of
I've
day.
never been drunk. I've never been drunk, so.
I had Taco Bell last week, and I was like, sometimes you just want that fake taco, that like not quite taco. You know? Sometimes you do. Also facts, Mongolian grill is bomb. I do love me some Mongolian grill. I love just food. Yeah, I love food. Why are y'all still talking about unsweetened tea?
Someone says I just haven't found the right tea yet. I have found teas I like. It took me a while, but I was like, I'm gonna try some teas. And I found a couple that I do like, but I usually still have to put in like a tablespoon of sugar, which is bad.
No, I'm there with you. That's how I drink my coffee too. I like coffee with my creamer. It's really bad. I should probably stop it. Savannah, your image cracks me up every time. I love that cat.
Oh, that's cute.
Cat's cute. This is a smart tip. This is a very smart tip. That's the problem I have with green tea. I want to drink more green tea, but it's always so bitter. And I'm like, how come my tea doesn't taste like it tastes whenever I used to go to a restaurant? I think maybe it's just too hot. I didn't realize there's different temperatures to brew tea at. And I don't have one of those like kettles where you can dial in the temperature. So
That's true. I hadn't considered that either. I have been having tea at home that I like. I've ordered packets of tea from my favorite tea places because I want them to survive. And I try to make it at home, and it doesn't taste quite the same. But if I put enough sugar in, it's usually fine.
yeah. Miss Matcha Blossom, yes. See, Miss Matcha Blossom. Yep. All right. Zerio, thanks for hanging out. So, Mindy, I know Bay Area Kei has some events coming up, but are you able to talk about any of them? And kind of talk about what kind of stuff they got coming up either this weekend or next weekend or in the months ahead?
Yeah, sure. So our next big event that I think I mentioned earlier is Ursa Major 2. That is going to be Memorial Day weekend for people that are in the United States. That's the end of May. We have that Monday off, so we're planning a full 4-day event with a lot of panels, which is exciting. And that is going to be paired with fan anime. So a few of our panels are going to be streamed on Fanime's website. Those are going to be pre-recorded panels because that's how they're doing their setup. So for them, you have to pay like $10, but for the rest of our panels, they'll just be free to whoever wants to watch them. The big thing that I'm not sure if we are, I'm not sure, I think I can talk about this. We have some exciting brands for that event. I'm not going to say who because I don't think it's been announced yet.
That's okay.
I don't. But we have some bigger ones that we weren't even expecting to apply.
Yeah, we don't want you to get in trouble.
To get them.
So
is what I will say.
Okay.
So, and what they're doing for Fanime is they're doing a showcase style fashion show. I don't know exactly what that's going to be. Someone else is editing that video. We are still doing the fashion walk, but we are also going to have a brand showcase as well, which will be them showcasing their stuff that they're going to sell, I think, or like the stuff that's coming up for them. So I'm really excited for that.
Me too.
I like fashion shows and fashion walks, so yeah. Also have some good panels lined up, and then so that's our next like big thing is the end of May, so it's coming up. The theme is space again, but it's Ursa Major, so it's actually bears in space.
Oh no! Oh, that sounds so cute. I'm thinking of my friend's like Rilakuma cord she made. She had this like Lolita Rilakuma cord where she made this like space helmet. Oh no!
That'd be so good. That'd be perfect. So you can do bears, you can do space, or you can do bears in space. Is the idea. It's based off of like the California mascot is Bay, because it's a Ursa Major was our Bay Area Kei first event, and then we're also tied to Fanime. So yeah, it's like a Bay Area centric, but you can join it from anywhere.
That sounds so rad. Okay, the gears are going. I'm coming as a bear.
Thinking about plans.
I'm coming as a bear or something.
I'm gonna wear my bear ears again. I'm excited. I have all of the space themed things, galaxy themed things, as I mentioned earlier. Yeah. So I'm definitely doing something with
ready.
that.
You were born ready for this.
I am. What was I gonna say? But also, so we had a back to March challenge, which was because it's been a year. So it was BAK because Bay Area Kei, so back to March challenge, and they're announcing the winners for that tomorrow morning. On our Twitch channel, which is Bay Area Kei. So if you apply to that or you just want to see the winners, they will be announcing more stuff about events on that stream as well. So if you want to learn more about our events, definitely check that out. Yeah.
Awesome.
And then Rose Foray is next weekend. Sorry, I have a lot of stuff. Rose Foray is like a partnered with us. We didn't help them as much this time. They did the Winter in the Woodlands event, and they're doing Mystical Tea Garden, I think is the theme of this event. And that's next weekend. So tune in for that as well.
Okay. A lot of stuff coming up. That's what I just heard. So if people are bored, looking for a reason to get real cute in the house or make some new friends online, sounds like you got plenty of options.
Oh, you can still apply to Rose Frey's fashion walk as well. I think the deadline's Monday, so you could still film something this weekend if you wanted to be part of their fashion walk. If you want to dress up this weekend while the weather's nice. Considering it. I'm planning a cord, but I still have to film my walk.
Oh, okay. Do you get someone to film your walks, or do you just like set up a camera and a tripod, or your phone and your tripod?
I have a phone and tripod, and I use that to do walking shots. I try to get as much footage from that as possible. I do ask my partner to do panning shots. I can only get them to do it like maybe twice, so I have to be very precise. I'm like, I need you for like 5 minutes. Do this for me really fast, and then they're done. They get very annoyed.
Know exactly what you mean. They're like, "Are you like? I just took like 50 shots," and it's like, "No, I need you to do it again."
Not good enough. Yeah,
they
same.
Don't understand. How do you train them? How do you get them to? I don't know.
I usually just review the footage.
Tiana's got the right idea. Taco Bell meetup. Yes, we are going to go to the Bay Area and kidnap Mindy.
Go to Taco Bell.
And we're all gonna go to Taco Bell.
We have a city Taco Bell somewhere close by. I think it's within walking distance of my place. I don't know. I've never been to a Taco Bell, so I don't know what the difference is. If you've been to a regular one, maybe you could tell me why the city one is different. I don't know.
I will say,
It's just labeled that.
when I went to Irvine early last year before the lockdown, there was a Taco Bell that sold booze. And I don't know if that's the definition of a city Taco Bell or not, but it did have a completely different vibe. They had like boozy soda drinks, and I was like, well, this is interesting.
Maybe it's like that. And maybe a Taco Bell meetup will be my first time going to Taco Bell.
Yes. Yes. Get the spicy potatoes. Okay. Getting through the comments. Coco Witch says, I hope you guys do the brand and fashion walk for Fanime when Miss Rona leaves. I hope so too. Absolutely.
Same.
Savannah, you've never been to a Lolita fashion show? Really?
They have one at KomoriCon.
Yeah.
I was in it in 2019.
You modeled for Atelier Perot?
No. Atelier Perot had the guest modeling for them. I modeled for like 3 other brands, and I had to do quick changes, which was fun. I didn't model for any actual Lolita, because Atelier Perot was the only Lolita brand they had, and they had the guest modeling for them. So I modeled a bunch of other J fashion. I did end up buying one of the things that I modeled because it was nice and I like it a lot. But that was fun. It was an interesting show.
Yeah, it was. Okay.
They were so limited on models, so all of us were doing quick changes.
Yeah, a true fashion show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Mindy, I heard you have some interesting facts about yourself.
You heard? Or I have told them to you. Yeah, I can share some interesting facts about myself. Yeah. The one that people seem to always be surprised by is that I am the youngest of 8 siblings.
God, that's so
kids. Both from the same parents, but the parents are now divorced. And all of my siblings have kids. I didn't mean to get sad there talking about divorce. But anyways, all of my siblings have kids. So I have 13 nibblings, which is the combined word for nieces and nephews, which is something you learn when you have 13 of them.
I didn't know that was a word.
Yeah.
Nibblings?
Nibblings with 1 B is the word for combined nieces and nephews.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Interesting. So have you all like ever been like in a room together with like all those people?
I mean, when we were younger, sure, we grew up together, right? Although my oldest sister got married when I was 3, so not since then. And she got married and she lives in Australia now. We've all lived at one point we were literally all in different countries, I want to say. Yeah, because one of my sisters was in Barbados, but now we're just in different time zones. The one sister is still in Australia, but then we have people that were in Florida and Nebraska and Texas and Colorado and California. So we got a whole mishmash. We have not all been in the same room since I was 3, as far as I know. We had like 6 or 7 of us at a time here and there, but never all of us.
So many accents. That's what I just
That's
what I just heard when you listed all those states.
My siblings all have very interesting accents because they were all older than me, right? So they were in Barbados for longer than I was. I don't have a Barbados accent. I can barely understand the Barbados accent. But my older sisters slip into it sometimes, and it's really funny. I do have occasional Barbados phrases that I use.
Oh.
The one that I say a lot is "geez on bread," which is like the gosh darn it, but like a little bit more emphatic.
Okay.
It's like cheese on bread, like cheese, but like more. I don't know why, but that's what I say.
I dig it.
And that's from Barbados. But I don't say it in the like Barbados accent, which is more Caribbean, right?
That's one of my favorite accents.
It's a smooth accent, yeah.
What else is
Other
interesting
interesting
about
facts?
you? Yeah.
Um, I have donated my hair 3 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Most
awesome.
recently. Yeah. I grow it out for like 4 to 5 years, and then I chop it all off. Um, I did this the first time was end of high school, and then I did it again shortly after moving to California after college, and then I did it again last September. That was the longest I had ever had my hair. It was down to my butt. It was way too long,
Wow.
and I ended up cutting off and donating 18 inches, which is the most I'd ever cut off before. So that was fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool.
Sorry, reading some of the comments.
Oh, yeah. The
But
18
yeah,
kids and counting. Yeah.
yes. Yeah, my mom has a lot of grandchildren, so she doesn't have to bug me about them because she already has plenty.
Yeah.
Um, I don't have a Latino family, but there is a story for why I have siblings, but it's a tragic backstory that I won't get into right now.
Maybe
Anyways,
another stream.
more more facts. Um, I am into K-pop, and I do K-pop dance covers. Um,
Yes.
yes.
Talk more about that, please.
Yes. So I've been dancing. I've always loved dancing. We couldn't afford lessons when I was a kid. I took like 1 year of ballet, which is why I have very pointed feet. And I walked like a horse for a year, toe to heel,
Mm-hmm.
because that's how I was trained in my ballet class. And that just came naturally until my sister pointed out that it was weird and I was walking weird all the time. And so she made me
Oh,
fix it. Now I walk
are
properly,
you a
heel to toe.
ballerina,
Anyways,
sister? No.
but I like ballet, but it's really structured, which I don't like because I like freestyle dance a lot. So I try to choreograph and I do random dances that I make up as I go. Um, so I've always liked dancing, but in high school I had a friend. I was in a dance class with a person who was from Korea, and she was really really into K-pop. And so we were doing a showcase for our dance class where we got to pick the dance, and she was like, "I want us to do a K-pop dance." So we ended up learning "Tell Me" by the Wonder Girls, and that was my first ever K-pop dance cover, which was many years ago. I won't say how many years ago that was. And I just kind of kept going into it. In college, we had a K-pop group in my college, but I wasn't as into K-pop dance then. I was more into like other styles of dance. I got really into contemporary and hip hop, and I choreographed a bunch of pieces then. And then when I moved to San Francisco, I went into dance. I started going to a bunch of different dance classes. And I wanted to teach a dance class, and they wanted me to teach K-pop dance because K-pop was becoming really popular around then. So I started teaching K-pop dance classes. And then a drag queen found me and came to my dance class. Turns out we had met before when they were a drag queen, and I didn't notice because they came when they weren't in drag into my dance class because that would have been a lot. But yeah, they were starting a group called K-Pop Up, and they pulled me in, and I've been with them ever since. We've been growing and growing. Even during the pandemic, we've been doing social distance dance covers where we like film by ourselves and then we spend many hours editing that together.
Oh,
Um,
cool. That's neat.
yeah, and we've been doing virtual dance classes as well, and we've increased our number of teachers that we rotate through and all of that. So we do dance classes as well as dance covers. And I'm actually teaching a dance class tomorrow. If anybody wants to join,
Hell yeah.
it'll be on. Yeah, it'll be at kpopup.sf is the Twitch stream. It's also, I think, dual streamed on our YouTube channel. But yeah, I'm going to be teaching a Shiny song. If anybody remembers Shiny, they've been around for a while. Several of them were in the military until recently, and then they came back and they released a whole album, and it's great. It's a great album. But yeah, the song is called Code, which I was very excited about because I like code.
Yeah. Up your alley.
It doesn't have anything to do with code, but it has the line "crack the code" in it, and I find that very entertaining. So I'll be teaching the dance to that song tomorrow at
Nice.
noon Pacific time. Yes.
That's cool. So, and you also have a YouTube channel, right?
Oh yes, I have a personal YouTube channel called Mindy Pile Dance. I am not consistent, but I do post all of my like solo stuff there. And when I'm doing my own choreography, I'll post the tutorials and classes on there as well. Just because it's my like personal creation baby, where I like to post that sort of stuff. Like I said, not consistent. I'll post like 3 videos in a month and then nothing for like 3 to 6 months. But I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers because I really want to change my URL. I'm at like 60 something right now. If any of you would like to join and subscribe to my YouTube channel, I would appreciate it. So I can please change my URL. The URL is what it was when I first made the account in high school. You can imagine what kind of URL that was.
Glow Sticks 86.
But the official channel title now is Mindy Pile Dance. So pretty easy to remember.
Nice. Yeah, I am definitely going to try and check out one of your dance classes. I don't think I can make it tomorrow. I have an appointment at noon, but I will.
They are like, you can watch them later as well. But I do have fun interacting with people during class as well. I'll also be teaching in a couple weeks on like a Tuesday night. And I'll be teaching my own choreography to an English song, but it's by a Korean artist, and it's called On the Ground by Rosé. And I love this song. And I first heard it, I was like, I need to choreograph to this so badly.
Yeah.
And then she came out with choreography later. But you can't do the choreography that she does by yourself, because she does like lifts and like people pick her up and throw her around all over the stage. You can't do that by yourself.
I would just like jump across the room.
Like, she like, people like hold her back and like lay her down on the floor during the chorus. I'm like, are we just gonna like throw ourselves on the ground? I can do that. I don't want to make other people do that. And I had already like half come up with the choreography anyways, so I'm planning to do that in a couple weeks as well.
Cool.
Should be fun.
Coco the Witch asks, which generation of K-pop are you, though?
I mean, all, because, so, I understand what they're talking about. Tell Me Wonder Girls is when I started, right? So that's like, some people consider that first generation because that's when it started becoming really popular, but it's more like second generation. First generation is like really old, and I don't really like that style of K-pop, but the first generation from like 10 to 5 years ago, which is like Girls' Generation, Wonder Girls, the big boy group was DBSK. I do like those. I was definitely into those back in the day, and I still like a lot of Girls' Generation songs. But I do like current K-pop as well. So, I'm trying to keep current because a lot of people are really into. A lot of people that come to my classes, they want to learn like new songs. So I try to do a mix of like old stuff, because I taught like Shiny Replay, which is one of their songs from like 10 years ago. And I'm also teaching their new stuff as well, because I'm a big Shiny fan. So I span generations, is what I'm trying to say.
My knowledge of K-pop is very limited, and it's very much based on like what's been recent. So this is all very fascinating to me. Code is my favorite song from the album. Look, you got folks
so good.
who know what you're... Okay.
Yeah! Come learn the dance with me. Oh, Rosé is so good. I watched Rosé is from the group Blackpink, and they did a documentary on YouTube recently, or not YouTube, sorry, Netflix. And I watched that, and she talked about how she writes her own songs and stuff. And I think this is probably she wrote this herself. So I was really excited about that. And like that documentary gave me new respect for her as like an artist in her own right. So Rosé is really nice. I'm a big Lisa fan because Lisa's the dancer and I like the way she moves, but Rosé is also really cool.
Nice. A lot of people like, okay, cool. Yeah. So definitely check out Mindy's choreography. Visual Kei Eyebrows says, let's go. Okay. So, we're coming up on an hour and a half. If anyone has any questions for Mindy, feel free to leave them in the chat. Coco the Witch says they are second gen but have 2 left feet. So I'm going to respectfully watch.
Fair enough.
Oh, all right. All right.
I mean, the thing I really like about K-pop that people, even people that like don't necessarily dance, they will still like somewhat learn the K-pop dances because some of them are actually really easy, and like the cutesier girl ones are really pretty easy, and you can like put on that song in the middle of a group of K-pop fans and just everybody knows all the choreography. That's what I love about it because they do the same exact choreography every time they perform the song, so people like really learn the choreography for that song. And it's really cool. I like that. I like that they're consistent.
Yeah, totally. Okay. So, Mindy, before we wrap up the stream, I wanted to do a very brief this or that. Okay. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So,
hopefully that wasn't too loud.
We're going to switch on over. Okay, so I'm going to show you 2 things, and you will choose this, or you could go with that. Okay, so first we have...
Sorry, that song was in my head. You could get with this, or you could get with that. Like, what is that song?
You could get with this, or you could get with that. You could get with this.
Yeah, what is that song? What is it?
Engine number 9 on the New York Transit line. What is that song? It's called Black Sheep, This or That.
Okay.
Yep, it's called This or That.
I guess I should have figured that.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes
should
the
play
song
that
names
next time you
aren't
do
that
this
obvious.
Game. Or would that be...
It would. I would have to find a version that YouTube can't detect. YouTube is... They're like, harsh. Oh, use this song? Copyright strike. Okay, so
yeah.
You could either go with this headpiece in particular, this purple and black headpiece. Would you rather wear this, or would you rather wear something like this?
Definitely the first one. You can tell I like these dangly bits in the front. I'm a big fan of those. I also really like their horns. I like horns. And in Lolita, when people have like horns on their head and then they just surround them with stuff, but you could still see the horns. I love that. So I'm all for this one on the left.
You don't want a crow with a top hat on your head?
I've had a crow on my head before.
Like a real
smaller one. No.
Okay.
I wish. No, a little like plastic one like that one, but smaller. Not my favorite accessory, I will say. So yes. It's just awkward to place. I don't know. I've struggled.
I feel like it could only really work for like Edgar Allan Poe chords or something like that. I don't know. But,
that'd be great.
Yeah. Before we do the next one, Sarah asks, if you could do any meat, what would your dream meat be? Sarah, by the way, always has the best suggestions and questions for stuff. Like,
great question.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, you know what meat I like loved, and I was like, I wish I was there. So I would do something similar to this, but better. But the tea party that AP did in Paris, like the Paris Tea Party meet, I think it was from 2019 or 2018, where they like rented out a castle villa or something.
Yes.
So I want to like rent out a castle or like several rooms in a castle and just have like a ballroom with a tea party. We can do fancy dances. We can do a fashion show, and we can also do games and pictures on the lawn. That would be awesome. That would be like dream meet. Amazing.
Yes. Oh, yes. Man. I would travel for that. I would go to another country for that, for sure.
I want to, yeah.
Tiana, you're very welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad you could make it, and I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. Angelica was also singing Engine, but nah.
I can get it.
The crow is very distinguished. Very distinguished. Got places to be. Probably has a pocket watch underneath a feather. Like, just very distinguished. Probably talks with a British accent. And then Holly really likes the bunnies. Yeah, the bunnies are kind of cute. Kind of. Oh, they also have, I can't zoom in here, but they have this little, like, necklace on.
The bunnies have a necklace on? Or
it looks like it.
The crow does.
I don't know how to... Here, let me blow this up. I'm going to hide this one. Let's blow this one up. Yeah, it's got like a little... It's got a little necklace on. What are they sitting on?
Like, I cannot tell. It's too blurry for me.
Huh. Okay. Well, you chose the horns. I would probably go with the horns as well. Good choice. Good choice. Okay. All right. So, next, we're going to move on to these two. Would you rather go with the dress at the top, or would you rather go with the dress at
these are the new releases.
Bottom? Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember the top one as much. They're a little blurry for me, but I think I would go with the bottom one. I tend to like somewhat simpler styles when it comes to baby, at least. I don't know, and there's something really ethereal about the bottom one. I think that the struggle, I almost considered buying the bottom one actually when I first saw it, but it doesn't come in a color that I like. Is my struggle, but I kind of like the gray color. The gray, or is it a grayish green, I think?
Yeah.
And so I was like, if it was more gray, then I would probably like it even more, but yeah. But I like the style a lot. And the boat neck style, I really love that kind of collar.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Holly also likes the bottom one.
Good choice.
Ara bought some bird accessories recently for a headdress. Okay. All right. Did you get... We got another vote for the bottom. Tiana likes the top one. Okay. Sorry, there's a spider on my wall and it doesn't pay rent, so it needs to die.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. I don't do bugs. Because
fair. We just had to have an exterminator come, so I understand.
I can't sleep at night if like there's like a spider and then I'm like, I'll kill it later, and then it's not there anymore and I'm like, where is it?
It's gonna crawl in my mouth at night. Sorry, just giving you nightmares.
Oh no, it's fine. That totally happened to me when I was a child. Apparently my brother just let one crawl in my mouth and I was like, why didn't you get it? You're a terrible brother.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh no.
Yeah, it's fine. Good protein, right? That's what they say. Anyway. Angelica likes both of them. Okay. All right. And Bedlam Roses votes for the bottom one. I do also like the bottom one. The bottom one's very nice. Okay.
I think she specifically says her boobs vote for the bottom one. Which... yeah. I get it.
Yeah. I do
Looks
too.
like they give you more space for sure.
Okay. It's fully shirred. You know, I'm all, if it's got full back shirring, that's where it's at. I don't need to play with no one else. Okay. We're moving on to the last this or that. Are you ready for this?
Ready.
Get your last minute questions in, kids, because we're wrapping up this stream. Folks gotta eat. Also, boobs get votes. Boobs, one of the loudest votes in the room, honestly.
They should.
All right. Okay. We have the dress on the left.
Oh.
Or the Cheez-It dress on the right.
Okay, this is hard.
Really? Actually, it kind of is.
I mean, like, neither, but okay, here's my thoughts. The one on the left, it's cookies, right? That's what's on it?
Yes, it's cookies. The thing said pizza, but I was like, I don't think that's pizza.
I do like cookies more than Cheez-Its. I will say that. However, the like actual placement of the stuff on that dress just does not work, and it does not fit that dress. Also, the dress is very pink. Do not like that. I'm not a fan of brown either, so honestly, I would probably go for neither. But I think the one on the right is more cohesive overall, and I do think there's something very memeable about having a cheese-it dress. I think that's great.
Yeah, that brown shade is not. It's not a good it's not a good shade of brown. Um,
I just don't look good in brown, I don't think.
yeah, but
I'm more of a gray person.
For a second, I thought I saw this stuff popping up in Ruffled. Was it Ruffled Lolita updates yesterday or whatever? And I was like, nah, because they just did a Tom and Jerry like release at La Foret, I think, for a few stuff, and I was like, really?
Really?
And so, yeah, and so I was like, well, it could be, but then I realized what day it was, and I was like, oh, wait a second.
I am very aware of April Fool's Day because I do not like it. I don't like pranks. I used to be really gullible as a child, and I still kind of am. So I'm like hyper aware of April Fool's Day, and I avoid all things on the internet, and I don't trust anything on April Fool's Day.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah.
Tiana would get the one on the right to make it fit easier. Okay, but then what do you do for like accessories? You know what I mean? Like, do you get like a cracker purse or like what kind of headdress? Like,
yeah, that would work. You get some like printed brown tights. I don't know, and then brown wrist cuffs, a little brown beret, maybe with a cracker theme on it. If you can customize it, I would highly suggest getting Cheez-It rings. I feel like that must exist. Like if you want to go real themed there, because I'm a fan of that.
I actually, I would wear this if this were the red on the Cheez-It box.
Oh, that's an interesting take.
Like,
I feel like that could work even better, yeah.
Yeah. I would full force, we're just going to be cheesy. So, yeah. Yeah.
Someone's asking about an Eda meet. I've never been to an Eda meet. I don't know if I would want to go to an Eda meet personally, just because this is I really like things to match and be cohesive, and this is why I like themes so much, because then like everything ties together, and that's just for my brain. Mm-hmm. It makes me happy. That's where I get my like big dopamine serotonin hits from Lolita, is when like everything just fits together and looks good and like matches theme wise. So I don't know if I could go to an Eda meet, because that would just throw me all off.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Cheez-It bracelet though.
Cheez-It bracelet. Yeah, there's a bunch
of
donut bracelets. Yeah, there's a Tom and Jerry release for a few shops. I don't know why Tom and Jerry made a comeback all of a sudden, but it did. So.
Oh, because there was a movie that came out like recently on Disney Plus.
Cheez-It bracelet.
Lolita dress? I need to look up the dress though, because I did not hear about this.
Yo, a cheese wedge purse though? Absolutely.
Yep. I mean, there's already been cheese themed stuff that I've seen, so I feel like a Cheez-It is just a little bit funnier, but not that far off.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was fun. Okay, so we're going to wrap this stream up here. Mindy, if anyone wants to follow you on social media or check out any of your videos, where can they find you?
Sure. So Minty Pile, as you can see here, I always go the wrong way, is my Instagram. I mostly post cord pictures there. But I do sales in my Instagram stories. So if you like my stuff and you want to buy it from me, you can check that out. And I also started doing reels.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that, but that's a thing I've started doing. Yeah, so that's my Instagram, and then my YouTube channel is Mindy Pile Dance. I also have an Instagram called Mindy Pile Dance, but they're both very inconsistent posting. But please follow them, because I I love dance, and it's been a passion for like most of my life, and I want to share my dance with more people. I'm just really bad at advertising that side of myself. For some reason, I'm better at advertising Lolita. I don't know if it's just easier. I think because Lolita is more of a community, whereas like dance is much more of a performing art than a like community style. So it's like harder to get into that community or advertise yourself in that way, I suppose. Yeah, those are my socials, main socials. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Well, if you all want to watch more of Mindy's videos or check out any more of Mindy's chords, feel free to follow her on Instagram and all of the other social medias. Mindy, it was really fun having you on.
Yeah, it was fun to chat. I did have a few not last minute, but stuff I had written down about event planning.
Yes.
Advice.
Yeah.
If you want me to share last minute
absolutely.
tips, I suppose.
Yes. Overwhelm us.
But I haven't yet shared. So what all goes into J Fashion events, particularly big ones, is I would advise you to make a team. Do not try to do everything yourself. If it's just a casual or one-off short event, fine. But if you're doing any sort of big OTT event, even if you're doing a one-off event, maybe get at least one other person to help you. It just helps to have someone to bounce ideas off of, to like keep you on track if you're not the type of person that like schedules things as much. So it helps to have someone else to do that. Don't think you can do everything yourself, because you can't. You will miss something, and people will get upset, or the event will be just not as good. So it really helps to have a team. Don't try to do event planning for clout would be another thing. We've seen this happen a couple times where people think that they can like get popular, or they think that's the way to get popular, but that's not the point of event planning. And it's not a good way to do that, honestly. People don't recognize the event planners half the time. Like half the time I'm hosting a meetup and people don't recognize me when they come to the meetup. So don't do that. So yeah, it takes a lot of prep. You want to create a schedule, and limit yourself to like what you know that you and your team can handle. Would be the big things. And then my big thing for in-person event planning is basically you think of it like a wedding. It's the same thing that goes into wedding planning. Is just basic, like wedding planning is just specialized event planning, basically. It's the same thing that goes in. You have to pick your venue, you have to pick your food, you have to pick vendors. So for things like wedding, it's like florals and decoration, stuff like that. For an in-person event, it's stuff for like who's selling stuff, if you're doing a pop-up shop or something. And you have to plan content and entertainment for your guests. But venue and food are the two big things. And these are things you have to think about no matter what. One big difference, or I guess that's actually the same. So for weddings, you have to send out invitations. For events, you have to let people know the event is happening and like advertise it if not enough event people are coming. That's one thing for virtual events, is we have to advertise way more so that people are aware of things happening, because we don't have like in-person people talking like they used to, like word of mouth. So yeah, those are my event planning last minute tips and advice.
Wait, that was too quiet. I gotta play it again, because that was all really good advice.
Good.
I love it, especially the part about not trying to take on everything by yourself and getting a team. And I definitely think that like event planners are like unsung heroes, and definitely like it can feel like sometimes it's a little bit what am I trying to say? It's a thankless job sometimes.
Yes. Frequently, and something to keep in mind if you're planning in-person events, you will frequently lose money on the event because like people don't pay, or you forget about some expenses, and you can't like charge people extra after the fact usually. So that's also something to keep in mind.
Yeah, but
it's not a way to make money either.
Right? Yeah.
At least not for Lolita events.
There is this conception that like, oh, people run events and like they have, 5,000 people show up or 10,000 people, they must have a ton of money. But really, they're like bleeding money because they don't look at the fact that like how much it costs to have that space and like all of that. And all of this stuff that we see with event planning, like no one's getting paid. It's like volunteer, right? So, you know, you see people that are helping run panels at 1 a.m. in their space, like, you know, like they worked earlier that day and they're helping produce an event. So definitely thank your local event planners. Check them out, support them for helping bring good content to the community and helping us try and stay connected as much as we can online, as well as, you know, when this thing is over and we can do things in person. Definitely thank them.
Looking forward to that
then as well. Yeah. Don't I know all about planning a wedding right now? Ooh, it's a good time.
You're 3 months out, 2 months out.
Three, technically 3, but it's a little under 3 months. So yeah, we're getting close here.
Getting close.
Yeah. So I'll be glad when it's over and we're like done.
Yes.
I'll tell you that much. Weddings makes people crazy. So yeah. Anyway, thank you all so much. Mindy, do you have any other final tips, suggestions, words of wisdom, anything you want to share?
No, I got all of that out already.
Awesome.
Thanks for joining. Hope you had fun or learned something about events. Either one. At least it was entertaining.
Yes, I definitely learned a lot. Thank you so much for coming on. This was really great. If you are watching this video on the replay, feel free to leave a comment. I do respond to all my comments. And if you have any questions specifically from Mindy, I'll definitely reach out to her and let her know. And then that way she can maybe help you with any questions that you might have. Yeah, in the meantime, check out any of those links that we dropped in the chat. Check out Mindy, check out Bay Area Kei. And yeah, thank you guys so much for joining this live stream, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. But also, Bay Area Kei is doing stuff tomorrow and next week.
Oh yeah.
And next month and all kinds of stuff. So keep your eyes peeled.
Oh, I forgot to mention the Get Ready With Me panel. Anyways.
You doing a Get Ready With Me panel?
Yeah, next weekend with a few of the other Bay Area Kei people for Rose Parade. We are doing a Get Ready With Me panel with floral looks.
Ooh, I'll be there. I love me some good florals. So yeah, check out that panel. But yeah, in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, everybody.